let's continue talking about the World Matchplay at least for a little longer. First time it's ever been held outside of Blackpool, outside the Winter Gardens, as circumstances forced it down to Milton Keynes behind closed doors. Still on a big stage, but no one in attendance. How would you rate the World Matchplay? Thumbs up, thumbs down, mixed bag?
I think I've got to give it a thumbs up, and just going on the poll as well that we've got on Twitter. If you guys want to have a vote on it, go and check it out on our Twitter at Weekly Dartscast. It's going to run for the rest of the week, but when we're recording this on a Monday evening, start of the week, we've had quite a few votes already, and a lot of thumbs up, 88% compared to 12% thumbs down. So a lot of people really enjoyed it, and I put some feelers out during the middle of the week really on our Twitter to get people's reaction, what they thought of it so far, and even had a brief chat with John Part on the Sunday, the day after the first day, just to say, because he was involved in the broadcast with Sky, and it's great to see him back involved in the commentating side of things, and said, what did you think of it? And he said, I've got to use the quote that he said to me. He said, it's like going to the cinema. If you allow yourself to be drawn into the world presented to you without question, you will be entertained. And I think if you did that during the 9 days, you can't really have much complaints. Full credit to the PDC and Sky. We had Matt Porter on our preview show a couple of weeks ago, and he said about all the plans that they've got. It's going to be the same stage, the walk-ons, the referee, and the crowd noise going in as well. And, managed to watch quite a bit of it over the weekend. Pleasantly surprised, I think, is the words that I'd use, because there was a lot of great games, and credit to the players as well that went up there. Even without the crowd, we'd love to have had a crowd there, but they put on some excellent games during the weekend. You were hard to find really a day when there wasn't a talking point or a great game to think, that was well worth tuning in for tonight, wasn't it? I mean, even from the first round, we had that sudden death game with Joe Cullen and Ian White, a game that it was a sleeper really for game of the tournament. Mensah Suljovic and Jamie Hughes going into overtime, both players averaging over 100. That was a really good game as well, and the bit of drama as well with Peter Wright 8-5 down, taking off his glasses and reeling off 5 straight legs. I think that's where I've been going wrong for all these years. Round 2 as well, some really tight games. Of course, the Simon Whitlock surprise result is one that no one really saw coming apart from me. And quarterfinals, another cracking game. Glenn Durrant coming from behind to beat Vincent van der Voort in overtime. 2 really good semi-finals as well. And I suppose the only downside really is that the final was pretty one-sided in the end. Dimitri winning it by 8 legs, but even so, to see how pleased he was to get over the line and see someone win their first major title, it was a happy ending to the week, if you like. So for me, it's got to be a thumbs up.
I'm in agreement, and I think you can't fault the quality of play, because we didn't know what to expect for sure, but we thought there was a good chance the quality of play would be better because there wasn't the crowd, and it didn't disappoint. Of course, there's also the possibility it would go the other way. The players might just feel a bit weird, and we would see some poor performances, but we really didn't see almost any. Almost everyone played well in all of their matches. It was just fantastic 9 days of darts. The production in weird circumstances was really good. I think Sky did a great job in what was a difficult situation, having to put it together on fairly short notice with a good portion of their normal crew gone. Dave Clark having retired, Rod Studd recovering from a stroke, Wayne Martle unable to make it because he's caring for family member, and they were able to, we can't say it was a makeshift group because it was still normal Sky people, but on a smaller staff than normal, be able to be well prepared for the event. And I think they did a really good job of it. And then you add in the crowd noise, which I was a bit pessimistic of going in because I didn't think it had worked in other sports. And maybe it's a bit because I have negative feelings because my NFL team once got fined for, in real life, pumping in fake crowd noise to make it appear louder in the stadium than it actually was. So maybe I have a bit of a bad history with fake crowd noise. But I actually thought for the most part it worked in darts, the only exception being the lack of booing whenever a player missed the 4th dart into a 9-darter. Made it seem a bit unrealistic. But that aside, I thought it worked really well and it created a good atmosphere. There were some kinks. The fact that anytime anyone hit a 25 instead of a bull, it was even if that's actually what they wanted to hit. But I'll leave those little kinks aside. I thought it was a very good job. And I think this was one of the best World Match plays. It's a bit shame that the final was a letdown. Gary Anderson, I talked about the quality. Gary Anderson didn't really play anywhere near his best for the final, but it's more than made up for the fact that we had two classic semifinals the night before. So it's a thumbs up from me.